Welcome back, everybody. Today's lesson is about the Holocaust. Let's jump right into it. The setup for the day is to first take a look at the key vocabulary, but then afterward, we will take a look at what happened with the Holocaust, some of the setup, followed by some of the Holocaust itself. And we'll do that through looking at some key events on a timeline. Key vocabulary terms for this video are Holocaust, genocide, fascism, anti Semitism, and concentration camps, followed by one final one, the final solution. We begin our timeline in 1933. In 1933, right at the start of right at the turn of the year from 32 to 33, Hitler becomes Chancellor of Germany. This does not mean he is in total control of Germany, but the fact of the matter is that Hitler wields a lot of power by becoming Chancellor. The president names him chancellor and he has a lot of say. Then there are some events that follow that enable Hitler to gain even more power as chancellor, and he's able to do a lot of things with that power. Eventually, over the course of the next year and a half approximately, Hitler becomes the Fuhrer of Germany. This includes the death of the president, and he kind of reshapes the power in Germany to no longer be the chancellor having a lot of power and the president having a lot of power, a lot of say. He combines the two positions, and sure enough, he is the Fuhrer, and he is dictator of Germany. So we've seen this already this year with, we've already seen this with the unit, with dictators coming to power and people looking to single individuals to help the people out of depressions and bad economic situations. And here's an example of Hitler, or here is the example of Hitler coming to power. By 1935, he creates something called the Nuremberg Laws. And this is a series of laws that are meant to oppress Jewish citizens, Jewish citizens in Germany. One of the ways in which it does it is it strips Jews of their citizenship in Germany. So if you are a German citizen and Jewish, then after the Nuremberg laws are instituted, you no longer have your German citizenship. And there's a number of different laws, number of different purposes behind the laws, one of the reasons why these laws come into effect is because of Hitler and one of his goals in Mein Kampf, racial purification. And another one of the laws here is that if you are Jewish, you cannot procreate with anyone that is not Jewish or not Jewish, or more specifically, part of the Aryan race, because Hitler wants a clean Aryan race. And according to him, he would say he would not want it contaminated by Jews. 1938 marks a significant turning point in Germany, and that has to do with the event of Kristallnacht. This translates as Night of Broken Glass, and it is called this because of all the Jewish storefronts that were broken into and the broken glass that came with that. Businesses are looted, homes are broken into, synagogues are broken into and violated and vandalized. This is the event called Kristallnacht, and it is a turning point because it is the first time that Jews, because they are Jews, are taken to concentration camps. Tens of thousands of Jews are taken. One or two quick things to point out about this map. This is a map of Kristallnacht, and you can see the dates in Kristallnacht are very concise, November 9th and November 10th. So this is a very short-lived event, but very devastating for Jews in Germany. That's another thing to make note of. See all the location of the dots. The dots occur within the borders of Germany and a little bit of extended land that Germany has taken over by this time. Additionally, the dots are representative of what makes sense according to the map makers. What makes sense to put on this map? It does not mean this is all of the areas that were impacted during these short-lived 2 days. Continuing on with the timeline, in 1939, the ship called the St. Louis was carrying 930 Jewish refugees. So Kristallnacht has already happened, and in 1939, there are approximately 930 Jewish refugees that are trying to gain access to different countries in the Western Hemisphere, including the United States. The United States, among other countries, turns these Jews away. The war has not happened at this time, so when the ship makes its way back to St. Louis, this set of Jews find their way into an assortment of different countries, including France. But because of World War II events, we know that France will, in the next couple of years, in the next year rather, will be taken over by Nazi Germany. 1941 is a pretty important date, and this conference is a pretty important conference. The Wanzi Conference takes place, and it is at this conference where the final solution and how it will be carried out is discussed. Additionally, it is recorded, like so many things by the Nazis during this Third Reich era, 1933 to 1945. It is discussed how the final solution will be carried out. As a quick reminder, go back to the key vocabulary. That is the final solution is the last vocab word included in the vocabulary. Finally, in 1945, arguably the most notorious concentration camp located in Auschwitz, is liberated by Russian troops. A couple of things to make note of. Auschwitz is not in Germany. Auschwitz is in Poland. So as the Germans and Hitler make their way east in World War II, they end up planting a lot of concentration camps in Poland. At the time of the liberation of the camp, meaning this is when Russian troops made their way into the camp and those in the camp were freed, an estimated 2 million people had been murdered at that camp. The number there for millions of Jews that were exterminated should not read 11.5. That should be 1.5. And these are estimations because there is not a great way to track the number of people that died overall during the Holocaust. Once again, we have a map of Europe, this time a little bit zoomed out a little bit to give us a better understanding of what the Nazi concentration camps look like on a larger scale, not just simply what was in existence in Germany. First things first, do pay attention to the key because it does give a lot of important information, such as the dates that are there, where German occupied territory is, German allies. And then on top of that, a couple of different types of concentration camps, including extermination camps. With that said, we just heard a little bit of information on Auschwitz. So do what you can to locate Auschwitz and note what type of concentration camp Auschwitz was. Once again, it's also important to note that due to the map size, there is a limitation on exactly which camps are included. Therefore, it's important to note that this is not every concentration camp that existed. That's it for the Holocaust video. Of course, we'll talk more about the Holocaust in class. We'll see you.